Now we can start designing, and I wanted to walk you through 3 real-life examples of flyers and posters that I've created. So, I'd like to break down poster design into 3 steps. The first is imagery, second is typography, and third is the final details. So, with this tabloid flyer, I was asked to create a poster for an event that had to do with the largest water balloon toss. At my previous university, they wanted to try to break the world record of having the most amount of water balloons tossed. And so, what my idea was to start with some imagery is, of course, having an actual water balloon on the flyer. So, what I did was using the pen tool and tracing an image I found off of Google, I just created a simple water balloon. And this red version was the final version that I came up with. So it's important that you can use the pen tool, and I'm pretty sure you can find some other classes on how to use the pen tool, but it'll come in handy when creating your imagery. So for the background, I just used kind of an off-white. I wanted the red and the off-white to kind of almost have a circus feel to it. And so, as you can see, there's a red line around the border, which means that I have a bleed on there, which is about 0.25 inches. So make sure you add a bleed to your posters and extend your background color to it. So that way, when the poster is printed and trimmed, there's no white around it. So, next up, I had to create a gig poster, which is for a concert that was on campus as well. And it had to do with hip hop. It was called Hip Hop on the Hilltop. And so I just added a black background. Again, fits in the bleed. And so what I did was, again, back with the pen tool, I found an image of a Kangol hat, which is, the style back in the day when it came to, hip hop fashion. And took the time to trace it all. This is just a quick rough. But after I did that, I also traced these cool little glasses here. And the final version that came out was this. And so, instead of using the black, since my background is black, I wanted to use gold. And so that way I changed up the hat to a light blue color because that's also the color that used to be worn. And I kept it that way because the blue and the gold really complement each other well. So this was the main imagery that I created for this poster. Now, another poster I had designed was for a movie showing, which as you can see was for Anchorman. So, again, I started off by creating some imagery for it. So I brought out the pen tool, and this one took a little bit longer. And so that's the thing, is that you need to be patient, and this type of thing doesn't happen overnight. And I created, the image in layers. So as you can see here, it has the burgundy and the blue with the tie, and then I made it really minimal, which is just the eyebrows and the mustache. I didn't go into too much detail because it has a cool aesthetic that way. And so when I was done, I kind of placed him in the bottom left corner, and that was the main imagery for that poster. So now that we have some imagery on our posters, the next step is to be adding some typography for the title of the poster.